But she could never answer that. And it's just, it's horrible. I feel like I was stabbed.
Well, just like having a conversation with you and off the hook, we're talking opinions. Well, you basically got to understand what happened in your situation. You're correct. What you're doing is right, but it's not doing what they want. It's just like if you talk to any analyst from the FBI, CIA, or anything, they want you to go to school, learn the way you're supposed to learn, so they can figure you out, and then they can do a little evaluation on you. Now, from what just like taking a look at you, you get hot tempered, you're mad, you're right, but your family got to stick for you. Now, the basic thing that would settle everything down is once you know the score on everything, how they do it, how everything is done. Once you know that, then you're at ease, you're calm, because you know you did what you could and you know how to beat them then. And they could beat at any time as long as the people get together and demand, say, like your tapes, your transcripts, look at all this stuff and see how systemically this was done. It's just like, look at this now. The Shakman was based on firing, but yet they come out and they're doing a lot of big deal on hiring. What does hiring got to do with that?
Nothing.
That's what I'm saying.
The firing is, every time there's an election, the new crew comes, thousands of people get fired, and the winner's gang comes in. They don't want that because there's been going on for 50 years, who knows how long. We're talking billions of dollars here if the Shakman really existed. But Michael Shakman knows it doesn't exist.
Let's really take a look at the Shakman, what probably happened and had to happen. Just go by this and look at it. So he gets in there and he loses his case in Chicago. He knows under the First Amendment they can't do this. So he goes down to Washington. At the time Nixon's in, and Nixon was not a lover of Daley, okay? As you can see in the books, in the movie Nixon, you know what happened. In the tapes about the Daley archives, and then you say how Lyndon Johnson's thanks Dick Daley for helping him, and we couldn't have done nothing without you, and everything. So he makes these statements to that. Well, you wonder, what did he do that was so big to help Johnson and Kennedy? You just got to look at it that way. Now, what happened here? Okay. So in other words, he basically says that when they did that, they had that article on Daley on Channel 11 for an hour, and Johnson says, Dick, whatever you want, this and this and that. Well, do something really nice for them to be that way, right? Okay. And then he got Ross Gronkowski in there with one of the top jobs. So that was the Chicago way. Nobody brings that stuff up. But I remember being a kid when he says, once you got the judges, once you got the law, you got everything, it's going to be hard for anybody to go around it. See? And that's the key. That is really the key. So if really you want to change anything here, like all these guys are talking about this reform and all this, you got to look into the judges, into the court reporters, into the system that it's based on. And it's so simple to change and doctor things up. Because think about this logically. Say you're in a court case and you win that case. All they got to do is doctor up the stuff, send the stuff upstairs to the appellate court. They find little bitty things wrong, and all of a sudden that jury's thrown out. New evidence is put in, and you didn't win your case. And now you go before another jury with the evidence that's been doctored up. You're going to lose. It's plainly that simple. That's why every citizen should have his tape, and that's the law. They should have their tape. Now, anytime they tell you can't have your tape, you're already winning your case. Now, getting back to your thing and stuff like that, I mean, we were talking about the Shakman, I think. Well, when Shakman went down there, now here's the point. He gets down there, he loses over here. He knew he was going to lose here probably. As he gets to Washington and Nixon's in there, and every judge in the world is political. I learned that from William Peterson, the correspondent from the Washington Post over here, and Mr. Gordon, the father. He was a great guy. They taught me a lot, just showed me which way it works and all that. And in my conversations with Peterson, he was telling me about every judge, even in the Supreme Court, has got to be political. And to back me up on that, you see, they nominate one another. So if this is a person that's not this way, or he's not one way or the other way leaning, why are they voting 4-3, 4-2, 4-1? You know what I mean? What's going on here? You know what I mean? What's the decision? So it means everything is political. They're just giving you a song and dance that it's not. And then if they want, they can always doctor evidence up on people or stuff like that, and the judge will have to resign. They do it that way. So nobody's really got a job for life here.
Okay, let's go back to my case in federal court next week. I'm going up against Marvin Aspen. And we looked under, I don't know, under the ARDC or something. I was like, he's not even allowed to practice law anymore. Something like that effect. He took himself out. How can that be? Now he came back and he's just going to do my case? Well, that must be very important for these people.
In my opinion, it's just hypothetically speaking, people would think for themselves. And his own, and you could follow.
Well, most people in Illinois can't think for
Well,
themselves.
I understand that, but they were, well, you know, you were brought up that way. You know what I mean? But
And
the
they
point,
make it look more difficult.
but see, here's the point now. Going back to that, see, now your problem is you went after Nicole Brennan, whatever her name is, and Shakman and them about what was going on, and Judge Anderson talking about that. You were bringing up other stuff, showing her, and then you had her on YouTube saying there's nothing I can do about this or whatever it is, you know, what you were doing. So the point being, if Judge Aspen, in retirement or whatever he is, I don't know, I don't pay attention to this stuff, but on what you're basically telling me, and we're just hypothetically talking, that Judge Aspen, being one of the first ones in the Corporation Council when they came up with this Shakman Decree and this stuff, he shouldn't be ruling in your case, because that's your main issue here. You are going against the Shakman, where you're proving that the firing is the major thing and not the hiring, and that Daley would have broken the decree, losing one case in the Shakman.
Are you saying there's a conflict of interest in here?
It seems like it
Yeah.
to me, hypothetically. You can answer.
So what you're
that.
saying is I should SOJ the judge.
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't know why he'd be in there for
Yeah.
you. It's just a minor case on a pauper suit.
Yeah.
And since you don't have the money to go all the way, you should be able to grant it, in my opinion, a pauper suit, because everybody's entitled to justice. Everybody's entitled to, I think they are. I mean, I don't know for sure, but I think they are. But basically, getting on the Shakman thing is when he got in there, all Shakman had to do was carry on to the Supreme Court and get that ruling, and there would have been no patronage. It would have been stopped a long time ago. See, that's the key. And what else is funny about it is when they talk in court about, well, hey, nobody got any money, they didn't get anything for this one. The job is the money, fellas. Everybody would love to have 80,000 a year or 100,000 a year jobs. I mean, tell me one citizen that wouldn't, that's going through these hard economic times. So when they say he's not getting nothing for it, he's getting that and all the perks that go with it. I mean, come on, guys. I mean, people ain't that stupid. I mean, that's my opinion now.
Okay.
And basically, you're bringing all this out on YouTube. So you're actually really a main clog in this, and nobody sees that because you're just Jamie Hernandez. But you're the first one that's bringing it out to the people. And if you set up websites and the stuff you're going to do, and people start helping and say buying a book or stuff like that, that shows you what they're doing and shows the evidence, everybody's going to know what's happening. Because see, basically, when you go to court. Just think about the shack when I came in there. If you got my articles on it when I widened the shack.
Yes.
Well, when I walked into the court and seen all the stuff that was going on, I couldn't understand why any lawyers, they had some big lawyers doing Shakman cases, let this go on. It was a sham. To me, the Shakman was just a decree to take you away from the First Amendment instead of going to the First Amendment. See, if you go to the First Amendment, then it says...
Well, okay, there you go. These lawyers, big-time lawyers. Well, I found out by doing our research, there is no such thing as big-time lawyers. Because a lot of these lawyers know what's going on, but they don't do anything because they're getting rich off this. And another one, was there one lady, her name was Susan Scher?
The Corporation Council.
At that time when you were in court?
Oh, yeah, they were all there. They got a whole list.
So Susan Scher knows exactly what goes on here.
She's half.
And where's she at right now? Where's Susan Scher?
Isn't she in Washington now? But I know she was at the University of Chicago.
Yes, she's with Obama. No Obama.
Man, you're very harsh, Mr.
That's right, no Obama. He shouldn't even be our president. He wasn't even born in the United States. He was born in Kenya. I don't mind. Like I tell everybody, I don't mind if he was African American, if he's African American, if he were from another state, not Chicago, Illinois, because this is the crookedest city in America. And that just eats me up inside because he knows what's going on here because I think he's a constitutional lawyer and he knows all a professor or something.
Well, you know, he's very a nice man, though. You know, he's a nice man, got a nice family, kids. He looks like he could be a great guy.
Oh, I know that. And I sent him a letter in 2006 that I needed help for all this corruption. He sends me back that I can't help you. You need the people from Chicago to help you. Well, how can you not help? Now you're the president. If you can't help Chicago, what makes you think you can help the whole country? If you couldn't help one little dirty city and clean it up, what makes you think that you're going to clean up the whole United States? It's never going to happen. You know why? Because Obama, you do not believe in God. And most politicians don't believe in God. You guys believe in the mighty dollar. It's sad.
Well, see, I'm going to tell you, you seem like a guy that's been hurt a lot, and I know you have been hurt a lot and that stuff. But like I said, with Obama, he seems like a great guy. I'd love to play basketball with him, but I'm too short. He'd ding me out, so I can't have it. You know, 5'8" and under is my deal. But anyway, getting back to this though, he seems like a nice guy, and he seems like he would care to try. Your problem is that he comes from Chicago, and you figure he's hooked up with politicians in Chicago. I can see your attitude on this, but I still think he can be a great president if he tries.
Oh, but who are his people in for his reelection? Who were some of the characters? Were any Dalys involved?
The Democratic machine.
Well,
put
the
him in.
Democratic machine's always.
How about
involved.
Mr. Axelrod, David Axelrod?
Yeah, well, yeah.
Well,